so we're gonna get a little bit heretical with this one. But let's talk about those mechanical monstrosities that have been brought to life by literally bonding a demon inside of them. These abominations are known as demon engines, and they're basically a blasphemous fusion of demon and machine, suffering and hatred, and not to mention organic flesh and warp-tainted steel. And to the cults of the Adeptus Mechanicus who literally venerate and worship machines, these things are seen as the ultimate blasphemy. The demon engines are basically wanton destruction made manifest. Their bloodlust is so brutal and unforgiving that they pretty much have to be chained up at all times when not on the battlefield. And whereas the Adeptus Mechanicus constantly prays to and makes sacrifices to machine spirits, the Dark Mechanicum literally tortures theirs and subjects them to ever-increasing levels of sustained cruelty and blasphemy. And although these things are technically still considered vehicles, they don't have any kind of crew. Instead, the Dark Mechanicum uses an incredibly powerful sorcerer to first summon and bind a demon spirit, and then lock it within the mechanical frame of a demon engine. And on one hand, this is kind of a good deal, as demons can't exist in our universe for very long without a physical body, and the machine they're bound to gives them a permanent link to the realm of the physical. Only problem is the Dark Mechanicum and the tech marines that have turned traitor, which are known as warpsmiths, will basically keep the demon locked up and tortured for all time. After the demon is bound, its essence will begin to seep into every inch of the machine, until it has complete and total control over it. And the demon's presence will actually begin to mutate the machine, its wires and circuitry slowly beginning to be replaced with living organic components, like intestinal tracts that funnel hell-forged ammunition from their gullet to their guns. The forms a demon engine can take are as varied as there are species of demons, from the long-range devastating forge fiends to the aircraft-like helldrakes, who were originally a type of plane, and in some instances literally still have their pilot trapped inside of them. And when it comes to the history of the demon engines, what you have to understand is this. It wasn't just the Space Marines that had a massive civil war during the Horus Heresy, as there was one on Mars as well. And although the Martian Civil War took place for a lot of different reasons, one of the biggest ones was because of a document known as the Treaty of Mars, where Mars became an ally of the Imperium of Man, but was allowed to remain independent. However, the Emperor put in a clause that certain technology and research was forbidden, and to many members of the Mechanicum this was acceptable. However, there was a pretty large portion of the Mechanicus that did not agree with this. Who was the Emperor and his Imperium to tell them what they could and couldn't create? And needless to say, there was a massive and bloody civil war that ensued over this. This would end with the Mechanicus being divided in half, those who remained loyal being known as the Adeptus Mechanicus, and those who would join with the arch-traitor Horus Lupercal would be known as the Dark Mechanicum. They would be no longer bound by the laws of the Emperor of Man, and they could create anything their heart desired, no matter how truly heretical and terrifying. It seems like there are no limits to what the Dark Mechanicum is capable of, and the most horrifying thought of all is that we haven't yet seen their ultimate creation.